What if I told you the greatest story in modern wrestling wasn't about championships, it wasn't about wins or losses, it was about family, power, control, loyalty, and betrayal. Because the story of the Bloodline wasn't just another wrestling storyline, it was something deeper. It was layered, emotional, and painfully real at times. And to understand why it worked so well, we have to go all the way back to 2020. At SummerSlam 2020, after months away, Roman Reigns returned. But this wasn't the same Roman Reigns fans had known for years. This wasn't the smiling, heroic babyface. This Roman was different, more serious, more cold, more dangerous. And just days later, he aligned himself with Paul Heyman. That one decision changed everything. Because now Roman wasn't just a wrestler, he became the tribal chief, a man who demanded respect, a man who demanded acknowledgement, and most importantly, a man who believed he was the head of the family. The first real chapter of this story wasn't about an enemy, it was about blood. Roman's own cousin, Jey Uso. At Clash of Champions 2020, Jey Uso got an opportunity, a chance at the Universal Championship. But this wasn't a typical underdog story, because Roman didn't just want to win. He wanted submission, he wanted control. And inside Hell in a Cell, things got uncomfortable. Roman beat Jey down over and over and over again. Not to win quickly, but to break him. Jey refused to quit, even after taking punishment most people wouldn't survive. He still refused, until Roman went too far. He attacked Jey Uso, who had come out to stop it. And that's when Jey finally said the words, "I quit." But that wasn't enough. Roman needed more. He needed Jey to say, "I acknowledge you." And when Jey finally did, that was the moment the Bloodline was born. From that point on, Jey Uso wasn't just Roman's cousin, he was his right-hand man. But the relationship was never equal. It was built on fear, on pressure, on manipulation. And soon, Jimmy Uso returned. Unlike Jey, Jimmy resisted. He didn't trust Roman. He didn't like what Roman had become. And for a while, it felt like Jimmy might be the one to stand up to him. But eventually, even Jimmy fell in line. Because Roman didn't just fight people, he wore them down. Mentally, emotionally, until they had no choice but to acknowledge him. And as time went on, Roman Reigns became unstoppable. He defeated everyone. Kevin Owens, Edge, Daniel Bryan, John Cena, Brock Lesnar. Each victory made him stronger, more confident, more controlling. And with every win, the Bloodline became more dominant. Then, in 2022, everything changed again. Because a new member joined the family, Solo Sikoa, the enforcer, quiet, cold, dangerous. Solo didn't talk much, he didn't need to. His actions spoke for him, and now, Roman had complete control. A family that followed orders, a group that protected him, a dynasty. But the reason this story became special wasn't just dominance, it was what came next. Because out of nowhere came Sami Zayn. At first, he wasn't taken seriously. He was awkward, annoying, desperate to fit in. He tried too hard, said the wrong things, acted like he belonged when he clearly didn't. And that's exactly why people connected with him. Because Sami felt real. He felt human. Over time, Sami started to earn trust, not all at once, slowly, piece by piece, moment by moment. He helped the Bloodline win matches, he backed them up, he proved his loyalty, and eventually, Roman acknowledged him, giving him a name that would become iconic, the Honorary Uce. This is where the story reached another level, because now, it wasn't just about power, it was about relationships, about belonging, about identity. And the dynamic between Sami and Jey Uso became one of the best parts of the entire story. Jey didn't trust Sami, not for a second. He questioned him constantly, tested him, pushed him, while Jimmy was more relaxed, and Roman watched everything, always observing, always calculating. Then came the War Games match, the Bloodline versus their enemies, and Sami had a choice to make. He could prove himself or lose everything. And in that moment, he delivered. He helped the Bloodline win. And for the first time, even Jey Uso accepted him. That hug between Jey and Sami was one of the most emotional moments in the entire story, because it felt earned. But the thing about great storytelling is that you always know something is coming, and deep down, everyone knew. This wouldn't last. At the Royal Rumble 2023, everything finally exploded. Roman Reigns defeated Kevin Owens, and after the match, the Bloodline attacked him, brutally, relentlessly. It wasn't just a beatdown, it was uncomfortable to watch. And then Roman turned to Sami. He handed him a chair and told him to prove his loyalty. Sami stood there, frozen. The crowd knew, Roman knew, everyone knew. This was the moment. And then, Sami made his choice. He hit Roman Reigns with the chair. The crowd erupted, one of the loudest reactions in modern wrestling history. And just like that, everything changed. The Bloodline turned on Sami. They destroyed him, beat him down, left him broken. But one moment stood out. Jey Uso walked away. He couldn't do it. He couldn't attack Sami because deep down, he understood. From that moment on, the Bloodline began to crack. Roman became more aggressive, more paranoid, more desperate to hold on to control. Jey was torn. Jimmy was stuck in the middle. Solo stayed loyal, but the unity was gone. And then came Cody Rhodes, the man who won the Royal Rumble, the man who wanted to finish his story. Cody wasn't just fighting for a championship, he was fighting for legacy, for family, for redemption. And that's what made this final chapter so powerful, because it mirrored Roman's story. Two men, both driven by family, but in completely different ways. At WrestleMania 39, everything came together. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. The biggest stage, the biggest moment, and the match delivered. Back and forth, near falls, chaos, interference from the Bloodline. And just when it looked like Cody might win, Roman retained. And in that moment, the story didn't end, it evolved. Because the Bloodline story was never just about one match. It was about the journey, the relationships, the slow rise, and the even slower fall. So why was the Bloodline story so good? Because it respected time. It didn't rush. It let moments breathe. It let characters grow. It trusted the audience. And most importantly, it made people care. Because at the end of the day, wrestling isn't just about moves, or titles, or wins. It's about emotion. And the Bloodline made people feel something real. And that's why, years from now, when people talk about the greatest stories in wrestling history, the Bloodline will always be part of that conversation. And the only question left is, will anything ever top it?